Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something about limits. They're like the fences we build in our minds, fences that tell us we can't, we shouldn't, we're not good enough. But here's the truth, those fences, they don't really exist. They're made of fear, of doubt, of the echoes of voices that told you to stay small. But you weren't made to stay small. You were made to rise, to conquer, to soar. Fear is a powerful force, one that often shapes the boundaries of what we believe we can achieve. It whispers doubts in the quiet moments and builds invisible walls that seem impenetrable. These walls are not made of stone or steel, but of uncertainty, hesitation, and the stories we tell ourselves. Fear thrives in the unknown, magnifying risks and shrinking opportunities. It convinces you to play small, to settle, to accept the limits imposed by your circumstances, your past, or even your own self-doubt. But courage is the force that dismantles those walls brick by brick. Courage doesn't eliminate fear, it transforms your relationship with it. Courage begins as a small spark. It's the moment you decide to stand up, to take one step forward, despite the sighs, the racing heart, or the loud voice of doubt in your head. It's the willingness to face the discomfort of growth, to embrace uncertainty as part of the journey. Courage doesn't always roar. Sometimes it's the quiet resolve to try again after failure, to speak up when it's easier to stay silent, or to take a leap of faith when the landing isn't guaranteed. It's not the absence of fear, it's action in spite of it. When you understand that fear is a natural part of stepping into something greater, you stop running from it and start moving through it. Courage reminds you that fear is temporary, but regret can last a lifetime. Every breakthrough begins with a moment of courage, with a decision to challenge the narrative that says you can't. It's in those moments that you discover your true strength, not in avoiding fear, but in confronting it. The beauty of courage is that it grows. With each step forward, you build a new level of resilience. You realize that the limits fear imposed were never as solid as they seem. They crumble under the weight of your determination. Fear becomes less of a barrier and more of a compass, pointing you toward the areas where growth and transformation are waiting. Courage doesn't promise safety or ease, but it does promise liberation from the confines of fear. When you choose courage, you begin to break free. Dreams are the seeds of possibility, and they are meant to be bigger than the barriers you see in front of you. If your dreams don't challenge you, if they don't make you feel a little uncomfortable, then they aren't pulling you beyond your limits. A big dream forces you to stretch, to reach for something that seems out of reach. It's not about what you see now, it's about what you're willing to see for yourself, even when the evidence isn't there yet. Dreams are a vision of what could be, and they have the power to guide you past any obstacle, but only if you dare to believe in them. Barriers are deceptive. They often appear larger than they are because they reflect our doubts, not our true potential. When you dream big, you challenge the illusion of these barriers. You begin to see them for what they really are: temporary, movable, or sometimes imaginary. A big dream gives you purpose and perspective. It shifts your focus from the obstacles to the opportunities, from the limitations to the possibilities. Your dream becomes the driving force that makes you push harder, think differently, and refuse to settle for anything less than your best. The journey toward a big dream will not be smooth. It will test your resolve, your patience, and your belief in yourself. But that's the point. The bigger the dream, the more it demands of you. It pulls you into action, forces you to grow, and stretches you in ways you didn't think possible. And in that stretching, you begin to discover the power within you to overcome what seemed insurmountable. Every step forward, no matter how small, is a testament to the strength of your vision. Big dreams require big faith. They ask you to trust in the process even when the path is unclear. They require you to see beyond the barriers, to imagine what lies on the other side, and to believe that it's worth the effort. When you keep your eyes on the vision, when you refuse to let the barriers dictate your steps, you find ways to climb over, break through, or navigate around them. Dreams don't just help you overcome limits, they redefine what limits mean entirely. Limits are constructs of the mind, boundaries we set for ourselves based on past experiences, societal expectations, or the fear of failure. They are not physical barriers, they are beliefs, thoughts, and assumptions about what we can or cannot do. These limits feel real because we have convinced ourselves of their permanence. The mind takes what it believes to be true and projects it outward, creating a world where these imagined boundaries shape our reality. But the truth is, limits only exist where we allow them to. The moment you challenge them, they begin to dissolve. Your mind is a powerful tool capable of building bridges where there seem to be none, or walls where there should be doors. When you start to question those walls, to push against the edges of what you think is possible, you realize they aren't as solid as they seem. The key is to understand that limits are often fear in disguise. They are the mind's way of protecting you from discomfort, from risk, and from the unknown. But growth lives in the unknown, and breaking limits requires you to step into that space with confidence and curiosity. Every time you stretch beyond a perceived limit, you create a new standard for what is possible. It might start with a single act, saying yes to an opportunity that scares you, attempting something you've never done before, or refusing to accept no as the final answer. Each time you challenge a limit, you expand your capacity. The mind begins to adjust, to recalibrate, understanding that what once seemed impossible is now within your reach. The process of breaking limits is not about denial or ignorance of challenges, it's about reframing them. A limit is only a stopping point if you choose to stop. If you see it as a marker of where you begin to grow, it transforms into a stepping stone. The mind becomes an ally in this process, adapting to new expectations and possibilities. Over time, what once seemed like an unshakable barrier becomes a memory of a line you've crossed, a threshold you've left behind. Limits are only as real as the power you give them. When you refuse to accept them as truth, they lose their hold, and the world opens up in ways you never imagined. Failure is not the end. It's a critical part of the journey. It's easy to see failure as a roadblock, something that stops you in your tracks and holds you back. But in reality, failure is a teacher. It provides lessons, insights, and opportunities for growth that success alone cannot offer. When you fail forward, you shift your perspective. You stop viewing failure as a sign of weakness or incompetence and start seeing it as a necessary step on the path to success. Each stumble, each setback becomes a chance to refine your approach, to learn something new, and to grow stronger. Failing forward means understanding that progress is not always a straight line. It's a series of twists, turns, and unexpected detours. When you fail, it's not a definitive end, it's feedback. It's life telling you to adjust, to adapt, and to keep moving. Failure reveals the gaps in your strategy, the areas where you need to improve, and the parts of yourself that require more resilience. Instead of running from failure, embrace it, examine it, extract the lessons it holds, and use them to propel yourself forward. The process of failing forward requires courage. It takes a willingness to put yourself out there, knowing that the outcome isn't guaranteed. But with every failure, you gain something far more valuable than what you've lost: experience. Experience builds wisdom, and wisdom strengthens your resolve. Each time you rise after a fall, you prove to yourself that you are capable of enduring challenges and overcoming them. That inner strength becomes a foundation for future success. When you adopt the mindset of failing forward, you begin to see challenges as opportunities. You recognize that failure isn't a reflection of your worth or potential. It's a natural part of striving for something meaningful. The greatest achievers in history didn't avoid failure, they embraced it as part of the process. They understood that each setback was a stepping stone, a crucial piece of the puzzle that would eventually lead to their triumph. Failing forward is about persistence. It's about refusing to let setbacks define you or dictate your path. It's about taking the lessons, dusting yourself off, and stepping forward with renewed determination. Every failure brings you closer to success because it refines you, strengthens you, and prepares you for the moments when everything falls into place. Discipline and determination are the twin forces that can overpower doubt and drive you toward your goals. Doubt creeps in when the path gets hard, when obstacles seem insurmountable, and when results aren't immediate. It whispers that you're not good enough, that you should give up, or that success is meant for someone else. But discipline is the antidote to doubt. Discipline is the commitment to show up every day regardless of how you feel, what others say, or how far away the finish line appears. It's the ability to push through discomfort and stay focused on the process even when the outcome is uncertain. Determination amplifies discipline. It's the fire inside that refuses to be extinguished by setbacks, criticism, or temporary failures. Determination is what keeps you moving forward when the excitement of starting something new fades and the grind of the journey sets in. Together, discipline and determination form an unbreakable force, one that keeps you grounded in your purpose and relentless in your pursuit of success. Doubt will always try to find its way into your mind, but when you are disciplined, you create habits and routines that drown out its voice. Discipline builds consistency, and consistency builds confidence. Each small, consistent effort becomes a brick in the foundation of your success. Over time, the results of your disciplined actions begin to speak louder than any doubt ever could. You start to see progress, and that progress fuels your determination to keep going. When determination is paired with discipline, you become unstoppable. Determination gives you the vision to see past the obstacles, to imagine what's possible, even when the present moment feels challenging. Discipline ensures that you don't just dream about it, you act on it day in and day out, regardless of external circumstances. This combination creates momentum that can outlast any doubt, outshine any criticism, and outwork any excuse. Doubt is fleeting, but the results of discipline and determination are lasting. They transform you not just in terms of what you achieve, but in how you see yourself. You start to recognize your own strength, your ability to persevere, and your capacity to accomplish what once seemed impossible. Doubt fades in the presence of action, and action, driven by discipline and determination, is what paves the way to success. The people you surround yourself with have a profound impact on the trajectory of your life. They influence your mindset, your energy, and even your belief in what's possible. If you surround yourself with negativity, with those who doubt your abilities or who are content to settle, it becomes that much harder to rise above your circumstances. On the other hand, when you align yourself with people who inspire, challenge, and uplift you, their influence can propel you toward greatness. The company you keep is like the soil in which your dreams are planted. It can either nourish them or stunt their growth. Surrounding yourself with the right people starts with clarity about your goals and values. You need to identify those who are on a similar journey, who share your hunger for growth, and who push you to be better. These individuals don't just cheer you on, they hold you accountable. They call you out when you're slacking and encourage you when you're doubting. They bring out the best in you because they see the best in you, even when you can't see it yourself. The right people also model the habits and mindsets you aspire to. If you want to achieve something extraordinary, look for those who have already walked that path or are actively working toward it. Their discipline, resilience, and perspective become a source of learning and inspiration. Being in their presence reminds you of what's possible and keeps you focused on the bigger picture, even when the day-to-day grind feels overwhelming. But this isn't just about receiving, it's also about what you bring to the table. To attract people who elevate you, you need to be someone who elevates others. Support their dreams as fiercely as you pursue your own. Celebrate their wins and be a source of strength during their challenges. When you create a community of mutual growth and encouragement, the collective energy becomes unstoppable. It's no longer just about your individual success, it's about lifting each other higher. You can't break limits on your own. No matter how talented or driven you are, the journey is too long, the challenge is too great, and the stakes too high to walk it alone. The right people provide the strength, wisdom, and motivation you need to keep going, even when it feels impossible. They remind you that together you can achieve far more than you ever could alone. Success is not a result of luck or circumstance. It is the product of relentless effort, focus, and intentional action. Waiting for the perfect moment or ideal conditions to take the first step only delays progress and breeds excuses. The truth is, success doesn't come to those who wait passively. It comes to those who are willing to work tirelessly, even when no one is watching. To achieve anything meaningful, you must commit to the process day in and day out, regardless of how challenging or monotonous it may feel. Your ambition must be fueled by a willingness to do the work required, no matter how small or incremental the steps may seem. Consistency is where transformation happens. It's not about grand gestures or fleeting bursts of energy. It's about the quiet, steady grind that builds momentum over time. Each hour spent improving your craft, each decision to prioritize your goals over distractions, and each step forward, no matter how small, compounds into something far greater than the sum of its parts. The people who achieve extraordinary things are not always the most talented or fortunate. They are the ones who refuse to quit. They understand that success is built on a foundation of perseverance and discipline. It's easy to feel discouraged when progress seems slow or when challenges arise, but this is where your resolve is tested. The work you put in during the unseen moments, the early mornings, late nights, and times when motivation wanes becomes the defining factor of your journey. These are the moments when you separate yourself from the rest, not because it's easy, but because you choose to show up anyway. Every effort, no matter how small, is a declaration of your commitment to your vision. When you work hard in silence, your actions speak louder than any words could. Your progress becomes evident in the results, and your success becomes undeniable. People may not see the sacrifices you've made or the struggles you've faced, but they will see the outcome. That's the reward of working diligently and staying focused. It's not about proving anything to anyone else. It's about proving to yourself that you have what it takes to rise above any limit, any obstacle, and any doubt. Thank you.